It is time for episode 6 of In the Blender. I am your host, Disciples, and I'm joined by co-host, Fallen here. Fallen, how we doing, my boy?
Living the dream. How you doing?
I am doing amazing, man, and I feel like we don't owe it to anybody, but I feel like we should address that we have been gone for 2 weeks. I've been having a hell of a time getting my PC to work again, but thankfully, as the people on the YouTube channel can see, we have gotten that done. We have a lot to talk about, my friend. 1, a lackluster optic performance. Again, we're gonna have to talk about a change. 2, gotta give credit where credit is due, and I don't like doing it. Right? You 2 episodes ago read the CDL to perfection for the next 2 for Major 5 and CDL, and I gotta admit, I don't really think you meant to, but it fucking happened. Therefore, hats off to you, my friend. I'm very impressed with your reads. How you feeling after this champs weekend?
You know, obviously sad about optic.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It is
but
what it is.
Boys in yellow gotta.
Hydra being the first European to ever win.
They let the bulldog loose on Sunday, my boy.
Kismet was extremely typical. That was probably the best part about majors, because I hated seeing a 5-0. It was just like a very lackluster major.
At the same
ending.
time,
Go ahead. It made history.
they 5-0'd them.
They 5-0'd their ass, and it was the best of 9. Ain't that what 5 would be? That's absolutely absurd. But really, Scrappy, that's who we got to talk about. Scrappy didn't even. Yeah, he just purely choked, dude. And I do think it's partially, and I gotta give credit where credit is due, even though I don't like doing it. Scrappy is, by all means, a straight shooter. By all means, a very talented player. I do think a part of the reason why Toronto lost the way in the fashion that they did is that the CDL is set up for the losers bracket to come in with heat and to be ready to be, and just, I mean, let's be honest, just more ready than the other team in terms of competing.
Why you say that? I don't like the CDL.
It's a universal belief, so I just don't want you to argue this too much, because this is everyone's opinion and not mine. This is shared opinion.
I think there should be more matches in the grand finals on Sunday.
There's no losers, or like, so all right. So
no, and I
what
agree
happened
with the
was
best.
that Scrappy. So there should have been another best of 9, and the situation that
Oh,
transpired.
you're talking
there
about 2 best of 7s. I thought we were talking about like
no, and on top
no
of that,
warm up. Like,
no warm up. The losers are play first thing in the morning.
No. Grand finals was the only match on Sunday. They both went into that bitch raw.
How many matches did Toronto play the night before? Probably 2 series, realistically.
Probably something.
1 or 2.
New York was probably the same.
Okay, I see that, but really, it's really the fact that like you get more credit for I'd rather get my loss done early in a run. You know what I mean? Like, all right, dudes, we just lost that. Let's make the run, because that seems to be what holds the momentum. You know? Mm-hmm. Did you see what Cinder said?
Oh, he said he's not even hyped. That shit was easy.
I saw that.
He said that shit was easy.
Yeah, he said that it was the most lackluster finals he ever been a part of. But the man said, this is that ice in that veins that I love to hear. He said whenever it was like 3 matches in, they did the halftime shit, everybody on New York was starting to get up like you normally would. And then Cinder goes, "What Dashy told me, we were up 2-0 against NYSL. Sit the fuck down." And he literally told them to sit the fuck down right now. He said all of Toronto was looking at them, not getting up from their seats as they were all going back down 2-0. That's how you mentally chalk a fucking team. Like, in. They're not even needing to piss right now. They're locked the fuck in.
So and let's get this shit done.
Oh, Cinder definitely played a role in that.
Optic did lose a good one on that one.
Oh, yeah, and I think it was one of them situations. Rainbow had that optic pass. The only reason Cinder won. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I think he's a better coach. 100%. Simple as that.
100%.
We'll move on to the next topic.
Let's get it.
You go ahead.
What do you think are going to be the biggest roster moves? So I got a few ones in mind.
Question. I'll say the first one, you say your second. I think go ahead.
Go ahead.
I believe that Optic is going to drop Hook for Pred. That is the only change I think Optic is going to make, and I think that'll lead to some Seattle Surge moves, which I will let you say who. I don't want to talk about who you might be talking about, so go ahead. I think that's going to be the first. I think that's going to be the major move.
This is the vibe that I'm getting from the Surge.
Yeah.
I think Sib and Pred will stay. I think they're 2 nasty players, both early in their careers.
Yep.
Especially Pred. Some a year or 2 for him.
So
Diffy.
I totally hear. I don't hate that statement, but do you
and
realize the pool that Hex
Optic
has?
I know, but they also love Hook over
Hook's
there.
getting dropped.
They love him
Hook's
over
got
there.
them out of the champs. Now listen here.
I
No,
feel like we
this
can't
is how I
blame it on
genuinely feel.
one.
If they keep all 4, I'm fucking happy. I don't. I would love to give Hook another year. I don't think he's aged or anything, like in terms of washed or nothing like. What I do think is that he was the reason we lost that 246 against NYSL.
Mm-hmm.
Pure fucking point blank. And I also believe I watched the VOD over and over again. I can explain it to you if you want. I'm pretty sure you watched that same clip over. He was the person. If he didn't leave, I don't know. I can't remember if it was Ghosty or Dashy in the hard point by himself to push out to rotate when we had 2 other players rotated with 10 seconds left or 30 seconds left, which is a combination of why did they rotate that early? You know what I mean? Like, they definitely should have held down and just fucking went. Hook, on top of that, all year has been either straight shooter or straight blender. And that's why I truly believe it's either he's on and then the team's on, or if he's off, the team's relatively off. He did heavily impact the team in both the good and the bad.
So I think this is we're going to get into a broader, I'd like to transition this into a broader conversation about Optic.
Before we do this, it is time for Who's That Player? And today, so last week, we ended up recording this 2 weeks ago. You guys don't know what's going on. When my PC shit out, we had lost all footage, etc., etc. So, premise of the game is I'm going to be having a player who is going to be shown on screen in my mind, virtually via editing. Fallen is going to proceed to try to guess that player. He has 60 seconds, and that 60 seconds starts now. Go ahead and ask your questions.
He played for Optic Gaming.
God dang, maybe. Kind of. That's a very elaborate question. You know, come on.
Did he play for Optic LA?
No. One of the others.
Huntsman?
No. Embos was on it.
Oh, he played for Optic Nation. Okay. Ricky.
No.
Killa.
It's too easy. Yeah. It's too easy. I can't believe that you. I mean,
Adam Killa.
I can't believe you said LA Optic first. I guess in this modern era, I understand. But
yeah, you got it. If you want anything hard,
Super Bowl, bro. I got it. We got next week. We can't do an Optic player. It's gonna be too fucking. Did he play for Optic? Yeah. Fuck. That's your first fucking question.
I know pretty much all of them.
Yeah, I hear that. All right. Yeah. All right. It's Killa. Let's proceed. You want to talk about Optic?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
I think the team.
That's what I said. Good guess.
Thanks, sir. I think the team as a whole, they're still right there. I don't think they downgraded from where they were when they got the back-to-back seconds. I think they maintain that. I think other people have got ahead. But I do think they have a very unforgiving play style. Both Shotzi and Hook are just very aggressive. All of them, really.
As well as Dashy. Ghosty's the only one who's consistently calm in situations. Because Dashy,
not even like in the comms. It's just they're running at your face.
Shotzi's, I meant play style. Yeah, I meant play style. And if you notice, when in tough situations, both Shotzi and Hook ramp it up instead of pulling it back. Like they try getting more aggressive and more crazy play styles.
And like it's such
it's that modern era of gaming, bro. We're so
but it's one of those
based.
things where it's like those moments aren't the right COD play. So I think as a team, keep that aggression. They just have to figure it out just a little bit more.
Karma's about to have his fucking way.
I was going to say.
Karma's about to fucking have his way with the boys. Listen, you give me the same 4 Optic boys with a full camp with Karma, I truly do believe that we see top contenders again, top 3 the entire time. I don't necessarily say blow it up yet. If you are to blow it up, I say you only trade 1 player, and that would be Hook for Pred.
I think it'd be. I don't think they're gonna trade Ghosty, Dashy, or
Hex
Shotzi.
said that Ghosty deserves a pay raise, is what Hex said after the finals loss. He was like, "That boy deserves a raise. He ain't going nowhere."
I was gonna say they signed him as like a rookie first team. Like
he ain't going nowhere, bro. He did his thing, and I know for a fact Shotzi's like, "You're my guy, bro. Like you helped me a lot. You're my guy." And it's showcased, and like if we can convert that online style and that online kind of swagger that Optic has when they play, if they can convert that to land flawlessly, we will see the same team back in finals again. That's not a worry. I do worry that Optic has this curse of changing, and it's every year. It's every fucking year. So that being said, the Vanguard year, I was going to say, actually trying. They tried for once in that Vanguard year to not push out the bad player. Like they gave Illy a good opportunity.
And he had his injuries, and then this year they started out with the 4, then Seth retires. They place 4th, and they just get rid of Illy, so that's like a full new team. Pick up Hook.
They definitely had the card stacked
back-to-back seconds, and then
against them. Yeah. And it's one of them situations where it's like, now that we're doing this show, I want to try to not be biased because I love all the guys. Simple as that. And it's because I love Optic. So therefore, it's hard for me to speak on these things with my full opinion in terms of play style. But I truly do believe that at his best, Hook is obviously a top 5 SMG.
They're talking about he was the best player in the game
saying,
for 2
all
straight.
time. I'm saying all time. Like
all time.
At his best, he is easily top 5 all-time best SMG, and I give him that credit. In MW2, bro, at his best, he was top 3 SMGs, undeniably, and that's good for him. Him and Shotzi both need to figure out their worst stages. Like, it's cool to have a bad game. Mm-hmm. It needs to not be so unimpactful as they have been. You can be, I mean, shit. When we're playing competitive, you might drop 13 kills, but not you. I'm saying I wasn't trying to like, hey, bro, you're shit. But like whoever drops only 13, 14 kills, but has that 3 minutes of time is holding only all 13 of those kills were holding the proper rotate. It's like those things matter, like very much so in Call of Duty. And I don't know what to do with my hands. Let's proceed and change what we're talking about.
You want to get into something a little new here?
What are we getting into? Oh, we got to talk about Scrappy. We can end that off after this topic.
No, let's talk to Scrappy.
Okay. Okay.
Scrappy, you fucking choked, lad.
Okay. Scrappy did fucking choke, no doubt. And it wasn't just Scrappy. I still believe that him and Insight are the best players on their team.
No.
He's all right. I don't necessarily. And then Hixie.
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie. I mean, I think he was a last ditch effort in terms of just because Standy wasn't working. And honestly, I could see why Standy probably wasn't working. He also got a shift
as that team, though. You know.
I think that playing with Scrappy is probably a hard thing. I guarantee you, it's probably playing like me or playing with someone like me. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
You shit stains.
Yeah, like you get what I'm saying. So it's like
pissed on.
In that 5-0, do you think Scrappy, who is clearly the leader of that team, isn't going to management and being like, I don't know if I want Hixie, I don't know if I want Kleenex, I want Insight, but we gotta change it because I ain't doing this again. I think the Glassed Bandits, who I like to call them, are going to be broken up. They all look the same. It's really fucking weird. It's really fucking weird, dude. Okay. They all look the fucking same, dude.
Yeah, literally, and 3 of them are British. That's just in the comments. In a minute.
Yeah, and then Scrappy's like, fucking shit up. It's a beautiful contrast of American and UK culture. But what's your thoughts on Scrappy outside of him choking? Do you think this is a very successful rookie year?
He obviously got Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
He got a tournament MVP. Went 2 grand finals at champs. Like, yeah, they got fucking dog walked, but still made it 2 champs finals. So it's like good year for him, I would say. Yeah, reasonable rookie of the year for sure. I don't know if anyone else I'd give.
Ghosty had a contention until they just couldn't pull it through, dude.
Yeah.
They couldn't finish it out, and it's sad. It's extremely sad. I wanted Optic to pull something from this year. Another winless year is absolutely tragic. And, you know, outside of all the shit Doug said about Brandon, which I think was blasphemy in terms of, oh, he's wasted potential, et cetera, shit like that, I do think he held a point in that there's something about Optic. And I don't think content, I do think content has something to do with that. I don't think it has to change. I think the boys need to be in a different mindset. Like, they need to, like, 60-50. Like, everyone in that room with that mindset, like, this is what we do and this is what the fuck we do. We're winning. We're in which obviously 60-50 didn't win that way. Boom, go to Scuff House. Everyone was downstairs in that basement grinding every fucking night. And then when they weren't in that basement, they were in their offices doing scrims. They were in their offices doing fucking, and everyone, it was a camaraderie thing. It was like, it's a different type of feeling. You understand your players more. And I think the Optic has that right now, but I think that it's not the same vibe. I think it's a great vibe, but I don't think it's a or an efficient vibe or an effective vibe for winning championships. They need to change the fragment of their content, rely a little less on their COD pro. That's where I believe Optic needs direction. Which, with all of the talent they have, they can do that easily. Scum's not even on that team anymore. You don't have to rely on the pros anymore. Simple as that. And I'm not saying half the amount, 70%. Maybe just drop it down a little bit, a couple days a week. That's where I think would help Optic personally.
I see your point. I see your point for sure. Yeah, they gotta figure something out. Because if they're gonna win this again next year, definitely. It's like at that point, you're the biggest org. You gotta figure it out.
Oh, and Hex ain't no loser, bro. Like, he loves people. And the thing is, he can drop Hook. Hook retires. Come on, boy. you know how that shit goes. Like, I mean, it's he does his shit strategically. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He takes care of his people. Pamaj joined back. This is big news for me. I love that Pamaj. That was my favorite Optic member up. I mean, obviously him and Scump and Hex, but for the longest of times, my favorite Optic member. I mean, I've been there for the first left Optic for FaZe moment ever back in like 2011. So, huge full circle moment for Optic. If you're a big Optic fan since the beginning.
Shout out Pam.
Yep, Pam is that guy. But you have anything to say, bro, before we end this off? We've been recording 20 minutes. I think that's a decent episode.
Prepare your fucking asses.
Oh,
it's coming.
We're about to get into the Counter-Strike news, and we're about to be coming in full calm and collect, baby, because that's our fucking game.
The blender is going CS2, baby.
CS2 and COD. We ain't gonna, when the CDL is operating, we're gonna be doing both. We're not gonna be leaving the CDL behind, but be prepared for more CS2 news. I've been your boy Disciples. This is my boy Fallen.
Pleasure doing business with you, brother.
As always, man. It's always nice seeing you. Deuces, guys.
Hit that fucking subscribe button.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button for real. If you made it this far, you better subscribe. See us next week.